expenses entry. If you want to enter any expenses, you have to go to accounts, go to expenses, add new expense, add expense, and you can enter the expense type that you are going to enter. So if the expense type list is not there, you can directly add a new expense type here, and it is like petrol expense or something, that you can enter it here. If there is any tax applicable for this, you can enter that, or if there is no tax, you can enter like that also. So now when you enter petrol, you can see that in that list it will come. So whatever petrol your expenses is coming, that you can enter it here and just save it, so that in your list you can see the petrol expense. If you wanted to know more details, you can go to advanced search, and you can enter the details like what you want. And you can take a print preview of this expenses list. Accounts sections mainly consist of three modules. One is payables, the second one is receivables, and the third one is expenses. The payable contains whatever we purchased from the supplier as credit, that will come under payables. So when you go and purchase any item in credit, if you go to purchase entry, and if you select a customer, supplier, if you select a supplier, and if it is a credit, you can suppose this is the purchase we have done from this particular supplier. The supplier name is supplier only, and we are saving this data, and this is payment mode is credit, and you save it. You can see for supplier, when you go to accounts and enter payables, you can see add payment, and this supplier has got 63.5 as the balance. So now you are going to pay 50 real, so you can see the current balance is 13, and how you are paying, that you can enter here, whether it is by cash or check. So if it is cash, you can enter it is cash. If it is check, then you can enter the bank name, the check details, check date and all here, and save it. Because it is check, if it is cash, you can just save it over here, so that on that particular day, what all transactions, payments is done, that will list here. So you can see now in this particular day, that is on date 23 November 2021, you have two transactions as payment voucher. So if you wanted to search in detail payments, you can go to advanced search, and you can enter many other details also here, like how from which supplier you are purchased, and from which date to which date, all these things you can put it here. If you want a print, you can take a printout of this detailed view. This is the payment details, payment list. In account section, you can see receivables. This receivables contains all the transactions that is received from the customer, from the credit customer who is having balance. Suppose you have a sales, and a particular customer has bought some item from, and if you enter the payment mode as credit, now you can see 2.5, the quantity is 100, so 250 real is there. Now if you change it to credit, and if you save it, for this customer ledger, this amount will automatically register. So when you save it, customer 1 will be having that amount balance. So when you go to accounts and receivables, add a new receipt, and when you enter the customer details, the customer 1, you can enter the amount that he is going to pay now, and save it. So you can see in the receipt list, this customer for this period, this amount is given, like the payment mode is cash. So you can enter in cash, credit card, check, or you can give a discount to the customer also. Like this way also you can do. And if you want, you can take a printout of whatever customer, whatever the customer has paid to you. You can get various accounts reports. When you go to accounts, you have detailed payment, payment summary, payment daily, supplier wise reports, detailed receivables, receivable summary. All these reports you can take from here. So when you go to detailed payments, you can see what all payments you have done. Those details will come here. So if you wanted to change the date, you can change the date from which date to which date you wanted to see the detailed report. And if you want subtotal for a particular date, if you want a subtotal, that also you can see, and you can get a report of that payment report. So this is the payment details. If you double click on any of the payment, you can directly go and edit it from here. This is the payment report detailed, and there is payment report summary. There it will show you for each supplier what all from a particular date. When you select a particular date, it will give you from this supplier, from this date to this date, what all payments have done. It's a summary. It's a summary of each supplier wise report. This also you can take a printout. And day wise payment report, that also you can take. Also this is receivables, detailed receivable report, and receivable summary. Just like customer supplier details, you can see the summary of receipt, and the receivables date wise, each date, what is the total amount you have received, that also you can see. And you can see the supplier reports. When you click on supplier reports, you can get the supplier list. This supplier list, you can save it to Excel, PDF or Word. Any report you can save it to Excel report or Word. And in supplier report, there is supplier pending payments. It will give you to which and all supplier pending is there. So it will show you this supplier is pending. So when you double click on that supplier's details, it will go to that supplier's ledger. When you double click on any of the supplier, from there you can see more details. And now it is supplier ledger. You can enter any supplier details and see the ledger of that supplier. And just like that, you have supplier customer reports. So you can get the list of the customer, and you can save it in PDF or Word or Excel format, and you can download it. And also you have customer pending payments, which all customers as pending payments is there. If you recalculate, it will recalculate the total of all the customer details. You can see how the customer should be, how the report should be sorted, whether zero balance, no zero balance, like this you can say. And the group, the customer, maybe if there is under any other group, that also you can see, and also under which company some customers are there, that also you can search from here, filter from here. If you double click on any of the customer, you can see the ledger of that particular customer. From there again you can double click and see the sale details or whatever. If you want, you can modify and see the details. Now this is the payments. Only payments can be modified from here. That's the customer pending reports. Then the detailed expenses reports, all the expenses that you have done. Then the expenses summary, whatever expenses from that date to that particular date period, it will give you with the tax and expenses date wise, you can see. And this is the income and expenses report. From this point to another point, what is the report? This is the expense report, and you can take the printout also. Like it will show in the left side income, and the right side expenses. Like this detailed report it will show you. It will show sales cash, sales credit card, sales credit, receipts cash, receipts check, purchase return, sales tax, that will come in the income side, and in the expense side purchase by cash, credit, and also you can filter which all